Tennessee Valley area. A lot of reports of severe weather breaking out. Matter of fact, we have reports now of some big storms lining up along Interstate 40. Take a look at these now as we move on down into the Tennessee Valley. There's Jackson, Tennessee. Had hail last hour in and around Memphis, Tennessee. These are all racing on northeast at 55 to 60 miles per hour. Reviewing the warnings that we do have now in Mississippi, northern LaFleur County and Tallahatchie County. Severe thunderstorm warning till 5:45 p.m. Also in Lafayette County, including the University of Mississippi, a severe thunderstorm warning till 5:15 p.m. Central Standard Time. These storms, again, racing through the Delta. They've had a history of large hail, very damaging winds. The forward speed alone helping to cause the damaging wind, and again, the rush hour should be very nasty in the Tennessee Valley as well as up in Nashville. Now those storms appear to be approaching the areas around Pickwick Dam. Take you to the upper Midwest. Look at Iowa. You can see in Iowa now these big storms moving on through north of Des Moines up along Interstate 35 around Kelly, Iowa, and Nevada in Iowa. Reports of tornadoes on the ground. And once again, these storms are all being fed by very warm air. You can see it turning counterclockwise. That is our low center now getting into western areas of Iowa. And once again, looks like even Illinois and Indiana may see some severe weather before the night is out. Here's the satellite review. You can see these clouds. And once again, the enhanced area of clouds, the higher cloud tops. That is our jet stream riding out of Texas, riding on northward. And once again, lifting on up towards the Tennessee Valley. And in a moment, you'll be able to see this enhanced area of orange. And that'll show you what's going to happen. I guess we're not going to get the area to move too much, but again, cloud tops 55 to 60,000 feet here, big storms, easily capable of producing hail and large and damaging winds. And once again, that's all bearing down on Nashville, Tennessee. And to get more on the situation now in Nashville, here's Jim Cantore.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are north of the city of Nashville right now. Behind me here, you can see the downtown area starting to light up as nightfall comes upon us. Also, quite a bit of steady traffic heading north here out of the city. But again, we're looking on off toward our west here, and that's over my left shoulder. And skies are darkening up just a little bit more, but the big noticeable changes here have been the wind. The winds are a lot stronger on my back out of the south, and also the humidity is increasing a little bit. So this storm system that we've been speaking of is definitely quite a moisture pump. It's pumping up a lot of warm, moist air, and that's something, if you've been out over the past couple of days, really hasn't been around. Really a good shot at humidity here over the past couple of days. And that's what we mean when we talk about dew point, which is simply the measure of water or water vapor in the atmosphere. And the more of that you have, unfortunately, the more fuel for thunderstorms. And as Bill was telling you about with all the severe thunderstorm warnings and also tornadoes and tornado touchdowns, there's plenty of juice to work with. So we're awaiting some storms here in Nashville. They're coming in about an hour or two, hopefully not severe, but the potential is there. We will definitely keep you posted.
And Jim, thanks a lot. Once again, the tornado watches do continue for the Nashville metropolitan area. Matter of fact, we can review the tornado watches now for you. I believe we have them, and we can show you that the Ohio Valley and also the Tennessee Valley is in the watch area. I believe we have those for you now. We can show that the tornado watches, there we go, into Iowa and also into northern Missouri. They continue until 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. That'll take in Des Moines. Remember, reports of tornadoes on the ground around Nevada and Kelly, Iowa during the past hour. Another tornado watch area, this one in the Ohio Valley. Louisville, you were hit hard earlier. Watch out, more rough weather headed your direction, headed home along Interstate 71 or Interstate 40. Use caution tonight. You'll be encountering a lot of headwind next hour or two. And finally, the tornado watch continues down into the Tennessee Valley. Big storms now in Lafayette County and LaFleur County and on across into the Tennessee Valley. So the Quad Cities area, Florence, Decatur, on up over to Muscle Shoals and Huntsville, Alabama. You know what happened about a year and a half ago. Be on your guard. Any warnings, please heed these warnings. And again, for now, a tornado watch out. Tornado watch means conditions favorable for the severe thunderstorms, which may in turn spawn these severe thunderstorms that could cause tornadoes in and near that watch area. And the Severe Storms Forecast Center will be monitoring the situation, as will be the Weather Channel. So we'll come back to the Forecast Center in about a half an hour, give you an update. Jim, by the way, will be back live probably in about 1 hour's time. Right now, after a local weather forecast, we'll come back and check out the skiing forecast.
The thunder associated with the thunderstorms, and there have been several cloud strokes to each cloud, but also several cloud to ground strokes. So that means there's some severe weather out there, and there is the potential for lightning, of course, coming down to the earth. So be careful. As you can see behind me here, we're just about to, I don't know, 10 miles or so to the north of Nashville, downtown Nashville. We've got a thermometer here. Temperatures haven't changed much. It's still in the upper 70s, but what we have seen in the past couple of hours is an increase in the relative humidity. Notice in through here, we see about 60%. It was about 52 before. So the moisture is coming in. That's a sign that we have an approaching frontal system. Let's talk a little bit about the weather pattern. Take you out to LA, for example. They've had a lot of rain out in Los Angeles. Strong storms coming in that way. And for the most part, the Rocky Mountains have been squeezing a lot of the moisture out of those weather systems. And by the time they make their way into the plain states, they really haven't had a whole heck of a lot of moisture. But you know, over the past couple of days, since the first day of spring, I'm sure a lot of you folks, if you've gotten out in the Mid-South, the Southern Plains, and the Southeast, noticed an increase in the humidity. It feels a little bit more damp on you. Well, that's the moisture. And now, since we continue to get these strong systems coming out of the Rockies, now we have the moisture available and, unfortunately, severe weather. And that's what we're dealing with tonight, and we've been dealing with. Keith.
All right, thanks, Jim. As Jim mentioned, it is rather wicked out there just to the west. We still have this tornado watch in effect, includes the Nashville area. Down in Selmer, Tennessee, had a report of a tornado. The sheriff's office there says they're too busy to give us any reports, but there is reports of damage in that area. Farther on toward the north, we have another tornado watch in effect until 9 o'clock. And as we mentioned, some severe weather moving through parts of Iowa this evening with the tornado watch in effect until 11 o'clock Central Standard Time. Let's look to the studio and see where this is all heading. Now into northwestern Alabama, a report of 4 touchdowns of tornadoes in Selmer, Tennessee. Both highways into and out of the city are blocked, and we are continuing to check. Extensive damage has been reported there. We will continue to watch that situation. And as you can see, thunderstorms also moving up right into Nashville, Tennessee. That's where we want to go now. Live to Jim Cantore. He's checking out what's happening in Nashville.
Oh, Keith, you should have been here 10 to 15 minutes ago. It rained like I've never, ever seen it rain in my life. I mean, it came down in buckets. I even took a few measurements for you. I want to show you this. This is the rain gauge we had out. It rained strong for 10 minutes. Let's go right up the scale here. Here's 0.55 inches of rain. That's how much we got in a 10-minute time. It just dumped here. All right, what else did I want to show you? The thermometer, also the relative humidity. Notice what's happened now that it's rained. Here's the relative humidity meter right here. It's gone up to nearly 100%. The air is saturated. That's what that means. And the temperature has dropped 11 or 12 degrees. So we've had ourselves a squall line move through with some pretty heavy rain and also quite a bit of vivid lightning. Basically cloud to cloud strokes. Not a lot of ground strokes in through here, but definitely a dangerous situation. Looks like the worst is through now, but boy, I'm telling you, it was definitely something to be here with. Keith.
Jim, it looks as if the folks to your east are going to be bracing for that weather heading that direction. All right, thanks, Jim. That's Jim Cantore reporting live from Nashville, Tennessee. As you can see, there are some active thunderstorms. We want to continue to remind you where the tornado watches are in effect this evening. We have 3 of them.